When I turned about 11, 12 years old, I started to become very questioning and very resistant to whatever anybody told me was a rule that I had to live by. I was probably a bit of a nightmare to my teachers because I was always asking questions, and I was always asking them to tell me why I had to follow such and such a rule. Now, they used to tell me at the time that when I got older, that would all change and I would understand why and it would become clearer to me. Well, they were right on one thing. At the age of 45, I certainly have changed. I've changed to the extent that now I question those rules and those laws that we have to live by even more than I did when I was 12 years old in school. Now, I'm not some kind of crazy anarchist. I understand that there has to be certain rules and certain laws that we live by. And if there's a law out there which prevents somebody from driving a car after drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels, or prevents somebody from breaking into my house or the house of my family, that's fine. I completely understand that. But sometimes rules and laws don't exist for that reason. Sometimes laws are there to oppress people, to keep people down, to stop them living the way they should be able to live. When you look back, for example, to Great Britain in the Victorian era, women weren't allowed to vote, and there was a law that enshrined that. If you look back at 1950s, 1960s America, there were laws that treated black people considerably worse than they treated white people. It created a two-tier system. The same could be said of apartheid South Africa. Even more recently, when you look at British history, you've got examples where the law made it okay for the British authorities to physically attack people at, say, for example, Orgreave during the miners' strike or during the peace convoy. There's footage out there from what is known as the Battle of the Beanfield. And I do recommend that if you're not familiar with either Orgreave or with the Battle of the Beanfield, that you stop watching this video right now and instead do a search online for footage of those events, two of probably the most shameful events that happened in recent British history. My point is this, that sometimes rules and laws are wrong. It's as simple as that. They are not there for the right reasons. They are not there to protect the right people. They are there to crush our lives rather than enhance them and make them safer. Now, I am democratic. I believe in democracy. And I feel that if you can combat those laws and those rules by the ballot box, or by signing a petition, or by attending a demonstration, or by writing letters to your local press, or by sharing an article online, then 100% you should absolutely do that. But there are times when one law will contribute to another, and it will make it impossible for you to do that. You will be legally restricted in the way that you can fight another law, and that just piles one wrong on top of another. And in those examples I gave, women having the vote in Victorian Britain, America in the 1950s and the 1960s, in South Africa and so on. The people that were resisting those laws and were standing up for their rights, they weren't able to demonstrate democratically. They couldn't have their voices heard democratically. And those people people like the suffragettes, like Nelson Mandela, like the American Civil Rights Movement, for example, they had no choice other than to operate outside of the law and to do things that they were told that we were all told were illegal, and things that we were told they couldn't do. They had no choice other than to do that. I think when we look around us now, we look around the UK or we look around the world as a whole, we are coming very, very close to a similar situation. People are being restricted, people are being oppressed, the most vulnerable in our world are being exploited because of other political agendas that are driven by worldwide economics and the worldwide lust for profit and success off the backs of the vulnerable. Now, I would advocate and I would support anybody fighting that through any legal means necessary. But equally, I'm not going to condemn anybody that takes a choice to put their head out of the trenches and take matters into their own hands as well. We need to be fighting for each other, and we need to be doing that by whatever means we can do. We need to do it not for ourselves, not even because of any ideology that we might subscribe to. We need to do it to protect the world and to protect our society and to protect values, not for our benefit, but for the benefit of our children and our grandchildren. They are the people that we have to answer to. The bottom line is we don't have to answer to the authorities, to governments, to the people that set themselves up as being our representatives, because in far too many cases they're not on our side and they're not standing up for our rights. So I say to you all, do it in whatever way you choose to, and we need to stand strong and we need to stand together, and I support you in that. I'll be doing my bit and I hope you will as well. Thank you.